Hello everyone, I'm Mark from TXOne Networks. This is my third time speaking at HITCON Bus Conference, and I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm so honored to be here to talk to you today. I know it is not easy to make time for this event during this difficult time, but I believe you will be rewarded for that many times over. Today, I'm going to share my research on data breaches related to United States critical infrastructure. In this talk, I will share how we analyze tens over billions of pieces of leaked data, as well as the critical infrastructure of the United States. We will also share our understanding of the current state situation for data leakage within United States critical infrastructure, and finally, we will give advisement about conducting mitigation. And first, who are TXOne Networks? TXOne is a joint venture company by Cheng and Mossad, and we focus on providing cyber defense and visibility for operational technology. Cheng has over 30 years security experience and is world leader in threat research, and while Mossad has over 30 years of OT knowledge in ICS infrastructure and protocols. And TXOne was developed with the cybersecurity and OT knowledge. And I'm Mars, and at TXOne, I'm a threat researcher focused on IoT and ICS SCADA and some enterprise security research. And also work with the web application, mobile apps, IoT devices, and ICS penetration testing. I have to share my research at a conference such as HITB, HITCON, Sector, and ICS Cybersecurity Conference. And also, I'm also as an instructor for Ministry of Education and of National Defense in Taiwan, with the course including IoT hacking skill and ICS security. Also, I'm so honored to be the general coordinator of Hacks in Taiwan Conference 2021. And Yanting is also our threat researcher, responsible for programming part of analysis procedures for this research. And Max is our communication expert, providing us with so many good suggestions on overview of the critical infrastructure in the United States. Analyzing the general situation of a country is completely inflexible without a suggest support of a local. So what is data breaches? A data breach is unintentional or intentional release of private or confidential information such as individuals' name, medical records, financial records, or debit card information to untrusted environment, either in electricity or paper format, causing potential risk. However, the way data breaches can happen are also very diverse. For example, attackers successfully compromise the system by leveraging different vulnerabilities or using emails to trick the victim into opening malicious program to gain control or permission of victim machine. Or employee are also a very important channel. A considerable number of data leakage instances are caused by employees' intentional or unintentional actions. And what data the leak usually contains? So what information will typically be leaked? Emails, account, password, address, medical information, and company confidential information are all examples of common leakage content. So a variety of companies, including Amazon, Run, NGN, hotels, have had major leaks, so many leaks already in the past. So that's what we want to do. But of course, before we perform this research, we need to conduct and keep research on the past analysis report and academic papers. We find that there are related few papers focused on breach content or even on critical infrastructure. According to IBM, the cost of the processing data leakage has reached $3.86 million per year. It's a very large number. Let us know we must be careful not to underestimate the impact of data leakage. When a company has a data leak, the cost it has to bear is so high. Let's start from scratch to explain a few key things we can all pay attention in order to minimize damage and risk from such incident. However, there are really few reports focus on the breach content or even on critical infrastructure. So this is our motivation. We want to do this. So why we do research? Because it's the industry of and system contents in the United States, 16 critical infrastructure are very diverse, and they are also is indispensable part of more maintenance and country. Generally speaking, the definition of critical infrastructure is related of people's livelihood, national defense, and so on. So things like electricity, water, power energy, wastewater, transportation, and so on. So many sectors. And if those critical infrastructure system or service are compromised, the impact will be significant and will be much worse than a typical compromised IT system. And you will be very curious what impact can attacks on critical infrastructure on the industrial control system or critical infrastructure. This is big question marks right now. So for this reason, we use the ATT&CK attack matrix for ICS framework to show the picture of the kinds of attack. The technique marks with the colors and how we think will be related to data breaches. This is high chance that some technique marks with color can be used for initial access or persistence or something to do the later movement. And there's even a chance to get a more advanced system permission or privilege. So for example, when an attacker obtained the leak data, it can be streamlined his initial access attempted. Leverage the leak data, he gained access to IT network domain, and then gradually penetrate to OT networks, and typically through the RDP or VPN, or by finding a specific vulnerability to exploit it. Critical and credentials to those attack surface can be obtained through the data leakage, significantly reducing the difficulty of the attack. So, having identified those potential threats, we are going to use this research to gain an in-depth understanding of status of data leakage in critical infrastructure in the United States. We know this is a very important issue, but no one sure to do this research before. So, before sharing the result, I want to tell you that it's not easy to build a system that can analyze all of this leak data. I will briefly explain how we implement these systems. So this is our process of our analysis system. And first of all, you can see that in this system, you will normalize a various many formats, type of data after it traced from leak data from the public website or different source channel. At the same time, we will convert the normalized files into the binary data format of Parquet. Compared with other formats, Parquet has smaller file size, usually a quarter of other file types like CSV. And after the data is pre-processed, it will be stored into and uploaded into the AWS S3. When the file lands S3, it will be triggered run the function and will trigger to run the process to spare the data. Facilitating subsequent analysis. And after that, a link with a signal is built for subsequent inquiry. After entering the data in the entire into Asina. Analysts can analyze it via web interface or command line interface, or browse the result visually from QuickSight. Our analyze search and count data according to the object that need to be analyzed. So it's very useful and very powerful. So it's a whole picture of our data processing, data flow of this our in-depth analysis systems. Also, we collected so many leaked data set as possible. The new screenshots you see are only the tip of the iceberg for the leaked data. So we spend a lot of time collecting it. We spend a lot of time. And for this study, we collect over 10 billion plus piece of data from over 200 data sets. And we are continuing to collect related data, leaked data about those data breaches. And can you images the scale of the necessary analysis process? It is very large and very big. So look at this chaotic data. So many format type and many separator and even many various prefix, and this make normalizing the data extremely challenging. So many like your PDF or Twitter credential or leaking credential. So many credential here is so many format. You need to one by one to check the format. And also, even through this kind of leaked data has been collected by some people already narrowed down this data, but the data format is still a chaotic data. This can lead to some real tears in there, because so many tiers. If so famous information, so many leaked data like collection 1 to 5. But so many password down, but still in a chaotic data and different prefix or different modifier to store this data. So it's a very challenge. What you see here is part of our code, and that we use to process into chaotic data. Frequently speaking, we spend a lot of time on this. For this part, full for automation is really not feasible. We needed to spend a fair amount of time manually checking whether the data, normalized data was correct. So we need to do manually. So we need to spend a lot of time. Fully automation to check data, it is incredible. Also, at the same time, those data sets themselves are sometimes not handled properly, and there were so many pieces of wrong or invalid data. So we also spend a lot of time on this format verification. So basically, we will verify whether the email in the data exists, and whether or not the content is normal. Therefore, different data sets will have different code removal rate, but the data we analyze are all verified from data integrated before they are stored into the S3 to avoid running into the problem later when using Asina for analysis. So you will see just a part of here, our data set, so many information we need to check one by one. We need to store into S3 to do our later analysis. And to recap our process, after processing and storing from Python to S3, we'll trigger Lambda and to trigger S3 as Asina to build the connection, and we can query our data, anything what we want from S3 from Asina. And on the left here, our Lambda code is used to recode the corresponding source and upload the date and perform a part of connecting to Asina. And on the right, you can see the result of a single query, including mail, password hash, or the source and date. So and so on information. So other information will be queried to here. And after that, after we sorted out the leak data and built the leak data analysis system, the next question is, who should be the object of our analysis? According to our survey, in the process of our research, we learned that the attacks use this data like from money-related purpose, for the purpose deeply related to people's livelihood. So we looked up the top 200 of Fortune 500 in the United States to use as our analysis targets. So after that, we know our target, and we correspond to those company to their critical infrastructure status, including chemical, communication, commercial facilities, critical manufacturing, or energy, national defense. So many were here on financial service, food or agriculture, information technology, transportation, healthcare, and so many sectors we map these, and we get this result. It's a table. I know it's a very big table. And finally, we summarized our result in this table and the critical infrastructure status and the corresponding the company in the US top 200. This will also be our scope of our analysis. So it can be seen that the numbers corresponding the various sectors show a lot of differences. But this picture clearly shows which companies are in which sectors. For example, healthcare and public health, including CVS or Johnson & Johnson, or communication have AT&T, or like energy have some different energy company, PBF Energy, NGL Energy Partners. So you will be clearly know. The brackets next to the company names corresponds to their top 200 ranking. And here is the number of total company in these sectors. Like healthcare and public health, there are totally have 23 company in these sectors within top 200 Fortune top 200. So the whole picture is our analysis targets. Here are various analyses and where we extract from leak data. We use the email domain of this company as a basis for analysis. You can find that the table built through the different data sets and email domain allowed us to quickly locate the various data set source and leak profile. So you will keep different domain here and our analysis results and our many data source. So we can use lists from Python to S3, store data to S3, and trigger our visualize display our results in here. And here just our configuration of QuickSight just for reference. And finally here, how you has been waiting for. You already know how we build this system, and we analyze the data, how we map and to do the in-depth analysis. We already built a good system, I think. And finally, and you're really waiting for analysis result. So for here, leakage count by sector. Over 6 million US critical infrastructure emails were compromised by data found in 200 data sets of leak. At the same time, the communication status is the critical infrastructure status with the most leak. This chart also shows clearly that account leakage is a serious issue for critical infrastructure company in the United States. If an attacker wants to hit the communication status or the attacker want to hit the information status, financial status, critical manufacturing status, attacker can start by checking the leaked data for useful information. And so many leaked data is very serious. It's very serious. If I'm a hacker, I'm using those data and try to log into those external service, external system, it will be a great job, great tragedy, and very serious things. Second one is leakage ratio by status. If we compare the number of the employee per status to the amount of leaked data, we can see that the highest leakage ratio are in communication, information technology, and financial services. However, the logo here, the logo you see are not mean that indicate those organizations have a high leakage rate. Those are just a sample of who's who in each critical infrastructure status, because I just afraid you don't know in this status what company in this status, so just a sample, but it's meaningless. When we saw this result, we are actually surprised. How could the communication leakage rate exceed 100%? But strictly speaking, because we use the current number of employees and as the base for calculation, employee will also be mobile. In addition, there are many situations where an employee leak his company account, its business account in multiple places, so which can lead us such as high risk rate, high leak rate. And also, it should be said that is there are only 5 communication companies in the top 200, but the leakage rate in the communication field is very high. So I think the potential risk is very high when those two factors are combined. And this means that an attacker can be focused on one of these 5 companies to conduct an attack in which they leverage leaked information, creating a significantly large chance of success, and the potential risk to this industry is very high. But not only focus on communication, information technology or other leakage ratio over 20% or higher 15%, we should be careful about this, because it is very already in high percentage. Because we survey other country, we survey other country status, it not generally not so high situation, not so high leakage ratio in here. So in addition, we are also curious about how successful an attack will be in brute force attack using dictionary of the 100,000 top passwords. So in other words, an attack method that does not leverage leaked data. From this bar graph, it can be seen that most of critical infrastructure are not strictly with regard to the password control, allowing attack to use dictionary-based password attacks with a very high success rate. So in the case of a transportation system, the chance of password in use finding a match with the dictionary file was more than 1 in 4. So many high percentage, 25.74%. Also, attackers using a dictionary file attack have a higher than usual chance of success. So we should be pay attention and focus on this, because if I'm hacker, I don't have any leaked data, but I want to use the dictionary attack to brute force your find people for all synced behavior, and you just need to use Google hacking. You can use Google hacking, find the people that is employee information or account, but you don't have a password, but you still use brute force attack with the top 100,000 top password to do this brute force attack, and will be very high opportunity to will be success. So we need to care. And also, next we took a comprehensive look at the critical infrastructure status of the entire United States. And we find that the companies with the highest comprehensive leakage rate have had data leakage case, including 30.67% of password only use a single kind of letters like 1, 2, 3, 4, lower ABCD or upper ABCD, where only 12% of password use more than 3 kinds of letters. And almost 70% of password are less than 8 characters in length. And almost 20% of password can be mapped to the top 100,000 password dictionaries. Based on the data we gathering and the survey conducted by Google, it was found that the proportion of people reusing the same set of password is different service is very high. In other words, the account password used in the company's internal service and the accounts used in external service are very high risk. There is high chance that password will overlap. So according to those research, those survey combined list is very for password strong is very weak, and we need to pay attention. And also we look deeper. We analyzed the 10 companies with the highest leak rates. Companies that are found to have high leak rate have had information security incident related to data leak, showing a strong relationship between data leak and security incident. So whether a data breach result from an attack on company's service or improperly controlled storage, or the resultant data leakage make organization into a target is so many possible. And at the same time, and generally speaking, for those company, on a very average, the account password leak more than once per person. Dealing potential risk, so many high percentage in like here. So leakage ratio. So we believe some strong relationship between the data leak and the instant security incident. We believe some relationship in here. Also, here just some extra finding from Taiwan critical infrastructure, because we also do this survey for Taiwan critical infrastructure, and we surveyed 22 of Taiwan's 44 technology companies about the security policies, and we find some tricky things. In the upper half of leakage ratios, 65% of companies have a policy limit the use external email. And in the lower half of leakage ratio, 80% of companies do not have policy limit the use of external email. So it is very tricky, because when you have a security policy to restrict the use of employees, and it may cause them to use the common mailbox or mail information to register for the third-party service, and deeply the company's potential risk. I know the original purpose is good. You want to limit your employee to do not use external service to limit to prevent some attack, but your employee will use company email to register external service, third-party service when you limit this, when you have these security policies. As extra finding is very tricky. It's very tricky just share with everyone. So maybe some security policy should be to adjust. And also we surveyed, we proposed some situation from or scenario from data leakage. So here just is a sample from 2015 Ukrainian power grid cyber attack. So in this case, attacker used the Spring phishing email and attached the Microsoft document with malware blank energy 3. So if I'm a hacker, I want to try to do some malicious behavior, I collect leak data and I find you, oh, you are a service for power for energy industry. So I send a phishing email to you. For example, it's an entry point. It's a good entry point. Black energy will connect to CNC, and attacker can connect to business network and find their VPN credential in this business network. Also, if you are lucky, if you have leaked data in the outside of this or specific employee or some employee, maybe you will leak your VPN credential or your session key in outside, and in this time, attacker into your business network. Also, he can turn into your control system network. You try to your control system network, do some malicious behavior or remote access to, or for this case, use remote access tool to break out the power. And after step 4, attacker want to delay the power recovery. So attacker upload the malicious firmware to serial to Ethernet gateways. So in that time, network already cannot be work. So operator need to use to the office to machine to do this. But in step 6, attacker use the modifier kill disk malware to erase the master boot records. So HMI workstation cannot be operated anymore. Also, attacker attack the UPS system to impact connecting load with a scheduled service outage. So in that time, our operator already don't know how to handle this event in its accident, so they want to call out, but do the telephone denial of service attack to the call centers. So fully event from the start is phishing email, but back to the original reason, data leakage is a very powerful resource for attacker want to use the phishing email to attack. Also, we know this is very hard, and under the COVID-19 situation, more and more critical infrastructure use VPNs or other services to allow employees to connect remotely. Many external service of those company connect to the Active Directory. So unless employee register with external service, attacks have another potential entry point. This undoubtedly intensifies potential risk and must be considered carefully. So also, you just Google hacking, you want to target maybe some power company, some water company, just Google hacking, you can find those external service for this company, and you can use your leakage data to try to brute force login or target the login. It's very tricky. Also, we know some target ransomware event infection in 2020 is very powerful, but for initial access, so many attacks will use RDP or VPN, but where the credential? I believe, or sometimes maybe from leak data. So those data will be one of the entry points. And this attack will be vulnerability, brute force, leak data with password into the IT network, and to make the persistence connect to CNC, and then to compromise some service or get AD server credential, and deploy set up job point and set up GPO to deploy the ransomware to our domain computer, and try to ransom and infection it, and lock every domain computer, domain PC, and make the factory or the company cannot be work or should be shut down. So encode the lock or event in this year is very famous, and also from initial access, some common path they will do this. So also related with credential or high privilege account. So I believe this also will be entry point, one of entry points for the leak data. Also, we take some takeaways. So we summarize some our today's talk. And over 6 million US critical infrastructure emails and passwords leaked on the internet. And the highest leakage shared word in communication, information technology, and financial services. This can be a very powerful resource for attackers. Also, no matter your organization's level of cybersecurity, data breaches can still occur by unintentional release or through other companies. And most credentials leaked from US critical infrastructure organizations were using weak password. Almost 20% password can be mapped to the top 100,000 password dictionary successfully. So just alert some US critical infrastructure situation. But this may not be a real case, real situation, but according to our data analysis, we summarize, we conduct this result. Also, we propose some mitigation, some suggestion, and we know it is difficult to prevent valid accounts from being taken over with leaked data. If possible, use attack metrics, use TTP to make let your corporation conduct more errors detection and response. And workers should not be using their company email to register with external service and should not reuse the same password from multiple accounts. And never click email links or download file if the sender is someone you don't know. Also, use a brute force detection mechanisms or two-factor authentication protecting your external service or protecting your account. So this is today's sharing, and thank you for listening. If you have any question, you can tweet me or you can find me with Facebook linking, or you can send an email to me. Also, I will in the Discord channel. I will answer your question when I see this. And again, thank you for your listening. Thank you.